First of all, met you backstage at Noblesville, Indiana. And I go back and I look at the picture, and you have the biggest smile on your face. Like, I'm here, I'm making music for people. Um, Alex Lifeson of Rush, thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for bringing joy to so many people.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice compliment. Thank you so much.
I mean, I just look back at pictures of rockers I've met backstage, and they all look like they're just in their space and in their happy place. Let's talk about where you are in 2025. Envy of None. Now, I'm blown away by what I've heard, and a lot of it has to do with your work. But one thing I want to say that stood out, and I know you're going to be happy to talk about it, is Maya and her voice. Can you explain to me who is a part of Envy of None? And how did it come to be? We're on our second album right now, and
That's
tell me a
correct.
little more about that.
Sure. When this whole project started, Andy Curran, who plays bass, does vocals, plays keyboards as well, and some programming. Andy was in a band called Coney Hatch, Canadian band in the 80s, big hair band. And I knew Andy from then. And then Andy worked at our management company for 12 years. So we developed a very close relationship, and he was on the road with Rush for, that last decade for sure. A year after we finished the last tour in 2015, Andy asked me if I would add some guitars to some music he was working on. And I said, of course, so I did a bunch of stuff, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it. It was just very, very rough. Um, in the meanwhile, he was asked to be a judge on a talent contest, and Maya was one of the contestants. And he said to Maya, I think what you should do, she was 19 at the time. You need to get out and work with other people and sort of learn, your craft. And Maya responded, well, yeah, I Googled you, and I know where you come from. So why don't we work together? And he kind of laughed and he said, okay, I'll send you something and we'll see where it goes. And he sent her a song called Liar, which is on the first record.
Mhm.
And we'd already had another singer on, or he had another singer on that at the time. Maya did her vocal, sent it back. He played it for me. I told I told Andy, Erase everything that I did. I'm going to redo the guitars. We have to work with this woman. She's awesome." And that's how the whole thing started. And here we are, so many years later. Maya's 27. We're on our sophomore record, and she's an absolute genius.
Define the sound, because it is different than Rush for you. We know you from your days, of course, with Rush, and we'll always know you with that and be able to have that music with us forever and ever and ever. But define the sound of Envy of None, because you know what? To me, it was kind of calming. I listened to it before I went to bed the other night. There was something about it that was kind of just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of magical, and kind of took me to another spot. And I found it very soothing. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. I mean, there's great diversity on the record, variety. There's no two songs are the same. There's really a great um, palette of colors and styles on the record. I would say if I had to describe the kind of music Envy of None creates, it's cinematic, ambient, ethereal at times. A
That was
lot
what
of it
I
is
was looking for,
Yeah,
ethereal.
a lot of it is driven by Maya's voice. Maya's voice is quite, I don't say gentle, but fragile. And she's not a rock singer, which is what I love. And the contrast between the kind of music that we're making, which can be heavy at times and dense at times and ominous at times and light and funky. She just sits on top of anything that we write musically. Uh, and it's just a very, very unique relationship and combination that we've created. It's really, really satisfying for us.
Let's talk about what you created with Rush, one of the finest, if not the finest, rock trio in the history of rock trios. Absolutely a brilliant band that I've played on the radio for now 3 decades. I've been in radio for, this is my 34th year in classic rock radio.
Amazing.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I know. I started when I was 4. Um, I wish, I wish. But even to today, I'm playing Rush on the Fox in Cincinnati, which is a legendary classic rock station in Cincinnati, not competing with WKRP, by the way. I don't know if you guys watched WKRP when you were growing up in Canada, but that was a
Sure,
big
we did.
States. Um, but to today, I mean, fast forward to today, I'm still playing that music, but I'm really thrilled to talk to you and to talk to rockers about what they're doing, you know, in projects following that. What is the difference? Clearly, a lot of changes for you. This is kind of sounds like a little bit of a labor of love, which I'm sure Rush was. What are the changes between, working with the band Rush, going out on the road with Rush, and now Envy of None?
Well, Rush, I mean, Rush was for me, a 46-year endeavor. The 40 years with Neil that we toured, I mean, there was steady growth with the band. We spent a lot of lean years through the 70s, but things turned around with moving pictures for us, and we became much more popular and exposed, and slowly, started getting to the next levels. It's remarkable to me that we managed to get we managed to build a career for 40 years when all we had hoped for in the beginning was maybe 4 or 5 years based on our first record deal, which at the time was a long period for most rock bands. To be 4 or 5 years out there was kind of normal.
Mhm.
And to do that for 4 decades was really remarkable. I loved every second of it. There's some seconds I probably didn't love quite as much. There are ups and downs and everything. We had our fair share of grief over the years.
I know.
People do. It happens. It's part of life. But to be able to play the music and to write music and have an audience that was open to what you were doing and so involved in what you're doing was an absolute blessing. Um, I After we finished, touring with Rush, I sort of started playing golf, and I thought, okay, well, this is it. I'm going to keep playing and doing stuff for sure. But it wasn't until, and of course, we had to deal with Neil's illness and passing. But it wasn't until this opportunity with Envy of None came along that I felt reinvigorated and reborn. And I'm now playing guitar maybe more than I've ever played. And I so look forward to making music, and I'm working on a lot of different projects all at the same time. So it's been such an incredible period in my life.
I'm excited to get the word out to my followers, my listeners, and those on social media about Envy of None, because it really did speak to me when I listened to that project. Behind you, I can't ignore what's behind you. What's behind
Yeah,
me is my wall of shame,
there
which is
you go.
a few radio awards and a light that I shouldn't have on that's looking like it's ready to burn my retina. So I apologize for that mishap. There's always a mishap. It's kind of cool though, isn't it? That's kind of
It
cool.
totally,
Yeah,
totally. I
that
see
was
a
my
couple guitars in there too. Is that a
yeah,
national?
I think we also have a Boston autograph guitar. I'm from Indianapolis,
Okay,
so I've got some Indy 500 stuff. I know you're a car guy.
cool.
One of my favorite Rush songs is Red Bruschetta. I love that song. That is a rocker. What is your favorite, not yours? What is your favorite or one of your favorites guitar solos that comes to mind from someone else? What guitar solos or who do you dig? If I had to say, all right, you're on the spot. I hate when people do this to me, by the way. Sorry. Guitar solo. What's guitar solo from a fellow rocker? Do you just go, wow?
Oh, geez, that is the tough one.
You can pick yours if you want. Go ahead and pick yours if you
The
want.
solo from Spoonful Cream
Oh,
uh, was one of the most influential ones for me. That's the first solo that I sat down and I learned how to play note for note. It only took me about 6 months, but I hadn't been playing guitar for long, a couple of years when I took that challenge to do that. And that was really an important one. When just about anything Jimmy Page did blew me away, but Stairway to Heaven is such a classically uh, structured solo of such emotion. Um, it is just it blows me away. I played it in a show in Toronto a few years ago for Andy Kim's Christmas show
Mhm.
that he does here in Toronto for charity. And we played that song. It was a whole ensemble, all these musicians, and I played that solo. So it was a thrill to sit down and learn how to play it and actually get through it.
That's awesome. That's great. Thank you for sharing that because I always like to know what rockers think of other rockers and their work. And you got to obviously take advantage of that and play it yourself. Wish Getty Lee a happy baseball season coming up. Any sport that you follow? I'm from basketball country. Are you a baseball fan? Hockey fan, obviously from Canada. What do you follow?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really follow sports anymore. I was more of a sports follower as a younger. I love playing tennis. Uh, I
Golf.
enjoy I enjoy the terror of playing golf and the heartbreak. Um, uh, but yeah, I don't really follow sports that much. I've been so busy, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't click with me.
I understand. It clicks with Getty, so we're going to watch
Oh,
his.
totally. Oh my
Oh,
God.
we get picks through our premier prep. His picks for the World Series. We know who he thinks is going to go all the way. Obviously, he needs to get you to a ball game, and you guys need to have a day out at the ballpark and have
Yeah,
some Cracker Jacks and a hot dog. Thank
for
you so
sure.
much for your time today. Super grateful. The new project, which is a project that is in its sophomore year, as you mentioned, is Envy of None. It is the legendary Alex Lifeson. We know him from Rush, but now we know him from Envy of None. And we're so grateful to have a few minutes with you today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
I'm going to turn that light off now that the interview's over. Bye.